Here we have the Dendrobium amethystoglossum. I've been really struggling with this. It blooms profusely, however I always get this black spotting on the leaves, and I've used everything in my arsenal to prevent it, but we still end up getting new growth with that. So the other day we were talking to Mike Tibbs, and what he suggested that we do is maybe the roots are not getting enough aeration and they're suffocating. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to repot these because they've bloomed and the blooms are kind of on their way out. So I'm going to try and repot these. So right now what I've done is I've just soaked them in water. I normally soak my clay pots in water before potting or repotting, just to get the roots quite nice, soft and supple, so that I don't get too much root damage. So I've soaked them. I'm going to soak them for about 2 to 3 hours until I'm ready to repot. So here's the Dendrobium amethystoglossum, and I just wanted to show you, I had broken the pot originally and I still hadn't kind of repotted it because it had the spikes coming in. It fell and it broke. So you can see the beautiful root structure in there. Now I'm not going to disturb any of this. All I've done is I've soaked it, and seeing as the pot is broken anyway, I'm just going to break the pot into smaller pieces and kind of take the whole plant out of there. Try and detach as much media as I can. I've got a nice little pair of tweezers that will help me. Now as you can see, because I've soaked the pot and the roots, the media comes off quite easily. You just have to kind of just apply it off very softly, and you'll see that it comes off. As you can see, it's coming off already. Now with dendrobiums, they do not like being repotted. I mean, they really sulk when you repot them for a little while. So as much as we can, we try not to harm or disturb the roots or the root structure. You can see it's just by a little tug, very soft tug, and a little bit of a push of the roots, the media is coming off. Now it's quite, you need a lot of patience if you want to do it that way. I find that this way helps because it doesn't give the plant so much shock. It stops the plant from sulking for very long. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of clean this. I'm going to break the pot. As you can see, I have roots all around the pot, coming out and attached to the pot. So as you can see, because I've soaked them, they're just kind of coming off quite easily. Here we are, the roots and everything are all cleaned and I've cut away the rotten roots and stuff, trying to kind of not disturb them as much as possible. I've taken off all the flowers, the spikes, just to make sure that now when this dendrobium is going to be repotted, I don't want it using up any energy in anything else except for creating new roots and growing. So I've got 2 amethystoglosses, so I'm going to do a sort of an experiment. Like I said, I'm going to put one in this clay pot. It's got big drainage holes, as you can see, and then I'm going to put one in this basket. This is again a handmade basket that we've made at home. It's really pretty, so I thought the amethystoglossum would look really nice hanging in this. So yeah, so I'll start with a pot first. Now what I've done is we've put big chunks of bark at the bottom because I wanted it to be raised up a little bit and stuff. So we've put big chunks, and then I'm just going to try where it reaches. If I put the chunks still there, this whole crown of the dendrobium is too low still. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now put a little bit of my orchid mix, which is just bark and pumice for the dendrobiums, because I want it really nice and airy and allows the dendrobium to dry out between watering. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that through, and then I'm going to try my dendrobium again. Okay, so I'm quite happy with it kind of sitting there. So what I'm going to do now, before I go any further, I'm going to take a little bit of wire, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of push this orchid, or hold it down. You know, what we can do is we can either use a metal spike to kind of hold it down, you know, just to kind of make sure that this dendrobium feels like it's really nice and sturdy and stable in the pot, you know. So they have what you call plant spikes or flower spikes, and it's basically a piece of metal that goes right across this way and makes sure that the plant is sturdy and stable and doesn't shake around. And the reason for this is when you have new roots growing, they are so delicate and so soft and so tender that you don't want them rubbing around like this and brushing against something and breaking. So you really want them, you really want your new plant just to grow really nicely and stable. So what I'm going to do, because I don't have one handy, I'm going to use the wire, you know. So I'm going to take it from the bottom of my pot, and I'm going to go across the plant here. It's a bit like needlework, you know, you just have to cross that way. And what I'm going to do is, just for some extra support, I'm going to take it back across in the other direction. So I've kind of made a cross against the plant. I'll show it to you a bit. I just want to get this done. And what this does is basically just stabilizes the plant until it produces its own roots and enough. Now, hopefully it won't fall out. So, you can see it's not falling out. And this is what you want. You want the plant to be really stable and sturdy. Now, the other thing that's going to make it sturdy is also once we do this, you have the bark that will hold it up firmly as well. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of bark on the sides. And I put a little bit around the sides because I don't want a lot of algae growing on top of anything. Here is a repotted Dendrobium amethystoglossum. And you should be able to hold it from the that's how sturdy the potting should be. There we go. That's the one in the pot, and now I'm going to do the one in the basket. So again, I'm going to put just big chunks of bark at the bottom so that nothing falls out. And then I'm going to just measure how far I need to go. So this one actually I don't have enough. So I'm going to place it there. Put all the media around. And as you can see, I've got very small pieces of bark and pumice because the dendrobium roots are not so big. So I'm just gonna fill around the side, and you can see it's already standing by itself, so that's quite a good sign already. Now you can, if you feel like, just do the wire thing to stake it down. I'm quite confident with this, so I might just create a spike, a flower spike. So this is the other dendrobium. I'm just going to use, so this is the metal flower stick that I was telling you, and it's basically very simple. I don't know if you can see it or not. Basically what I do is one end comes out there, and the other end is a bit of a hook, and I just hook it over the side of my pot. Initially should be so sturdy that you can just carry it from the canes. There we are. So I'll let you know how it goes and which one does better, whether it's the one in the clay pot or this one in the wooden basket. I've got rid of all the black spots and all the diseased leaves and all the flower spikes, and it's basically the same. Again, I'm on the label, I'm going to put today's date where we repotted, and while I was trying to do this mistake. I just managed to get rid of some of the media, so I'm just going to add it back in. But there we go, repotting of the Dendrobium amethystoglossum in 2 ways. So before it goes into the greenhouse, I've just sprayed a little bit of Domac on it so that we just give it a total fighting chance. Obviously you know that when you repot any plant it stresses it out, so the Domac just helps kind of kill all the pathogens and stuff. You could use no-path as well, and then in a couple of days, once it's kind of settled, I'll drench it again with Trianum, because Trianum helps at the kind of repotting and seedling stage where you need the roots to be activated and the media to be filled with good bacteria and good pathogens. So there we are.